Good evening, everyone. I think we are live now. So, okay. Good evening, everyone. I think we have enough members, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the prior minutes. And I believe there were a lot of comments going back and forth today. And the latest email from Tony addressed all the changes. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes? Okay, Sharon, do I have a second? Okay, Brad and Dennis. Okay, any further discussion? Dennis, are you comfortable with the feedback on
Yes.
your comments? Okay, so
Yes.
so you are comfortable with the minutes with the latest version? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, wonderful. So having no further discussion, I'm going to do a roll call. Bernard? Okay, good. Jack? I don't see you, Jack. Okay, I don't see Jack. Never mind. Sharon?
Yes.
Okay. Dan?
Yes.
Okay. Paul?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay. Dennis?
Yes.
John Mahoney? Okay, he's not here tonight. Brad Poulter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Brian? Okay, I don't see Brian. Tom?
Yep.
Thank you. And myself, yes. Okay, we have 2, 4, 6. We have 7 yes, 1 abstain, and then 3 members not present. Okay, the first item on the agenda is Paige Duncan. Hi, Paige. Welcome to AdCom. Okay, there you are. So, Paige, it's all yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Paige Duncan. I'm the planning director of the town of Foxborough. Been here just over 5 years, for those I haven't met yet. Our budget, I'd like to think, is relatively straightforward. I know you probably have a busy agenda, but so we are level funding our budget, with the exception of salaries, I guess, and that's handled by the finance folks. But from the expense side of things, which is in my purview, we are seeking a levelly funded budget. And I'm glad to entertain any particular questions, comments.
The liaison to the planning department, do you have any questions, any further questions or comments?
I think it was Jack. So Jack is.
Yeah, I don't see Jack, yeah. And I believe it's Jack and John Mahoney, correct?
And I was part of that meeting we had.
Okay.
Page.
Yep.
Yeah, I asked you some. All I asked about was questions about any kind of other assets the town might be having, whether or not we may be if we were in a position, or if we ever came up to have any liquidation of any assets. And
Yeah, that's not really where, but I don't know of any. I mean, I guess there's a couple properties maybe in foreclosure, but I think finance would know that better. But certainly, and if you talk to me, I'll want to turn those assets into affordable housing. So not money. So I'm the wrong person to talk to on that. But luckily, I don't control that. So.
okay. No, I mean, we had talked personally about the school.
Yes, the Pratt School.
The Pratt School, and any other liabilities that may be hanging on to properties that may be costing us more to not do anything with than would be to move or improve. So.
Right, good point. In fact, Bill Keegan and I are making a presentation tomorrow morning to the Tri-Town Chamber, and the 2 properties that we're highlighting to that group is going to be the Pratt School, which is down in off Community Way, and then also the auditorium at the former state hospital, because those 2 properties the town does own. And really can't find any users for them I mean, I'm sure someone would be, I know we've been approached by the Pratt School, so someone wanted to put, something in there, a business. I think we were thinking more before we did something like that to see if there's any way to get some sort of senior housing in there or something like that. But again, there really is no resources to do that right now. So we're kind of putting it out to the public sector, to the private sector tomorrow to say, hey, if anybody has any creative ideas, approach us, because we'd love to try to find a way to get some senior housing in either or both of those properties.
I think Dennis has hand up, but I'd only ask one more thing about the either of those two properties. There's no interest at all by the Historical Society to bring on to their books, right?
Well, I don't think the problem is both buildings are going to require, to do anything with them, they're going to require investment. And I don't think the town and the historical, they don't have the wherewithal really to invest in that. Any sort of preservation like that is going to be very expensive. Okay. So we're hoping we could find someone, maybe if there's a way, it probably wouldn't honestly be a money-making proposition for the town. It'd be almost like, in order to keep those buildings intact, you might have to give the property away in exchange for them doing a historical redevelopment. But I'm not even sure we can attract that. So that's something that, Bill and I have been talking about a little bit. And we're going to start. We have a lot of balls in the air right now, but those are only getting in poorer condition and more of a liability, to Tom's point. So it is something that is on our radar screen, and maybe something will come along, but we haven't forgotten.
Thank you.
Sure.
I think Dennis, you said you had a question. Raise your hand.
Yeah, I did. Paige, hi, Dennis Keith.
Hi.
Nice to talk to you again. I just had one question on your architects and engineers line item.
Yes.
The budget for that line item is $35,000, and through January, you've spent less than $5,000. Do you expect to spend the rest of that, or you think it'll end up being turned over to the free cash at the end of the year?
Well, I tried to spend it today, but my boss wouldn't let me. No, I've been making a very, concerted effort to, at the request of Bill, all departments are being very conservative during this financial time due to COVID. So as you can see, we're not doing any spending whatsoever, really. That said, I wasn't joking. We do have an issue with the design of the Walnut Street intersection that's going to require a little extra funds. We got a $200,000 grant for it. But MassDOT changed the parameters, so we've had to spend a little extra to study some additional things. And I tried to get Bill to let me use my architectural and engineering budget today for that. But he gently said probably not. So
What part of Walnut Street, Paige?
I'm sorry, what?
What part of Walnut Street?
The Walnut 140. We got a grant for $200,000 to design a signal for that intersection. And MassDOT has originally, when we submitted it, it went to District 5 which is our local district. They reviewed it and made some changes that resulted in a need for some additional engineering, which costs money. Then when we got through District 5, we sent it up to, and by we, I mean Chris Gallagher, the DPW director, but I've been involved as well. We sent it up to MassDOT in Boston, and then were requiring that a roundabout be evaluated, and that would require a lot more study and a lot more information. So I wasn't part of the meeting, but last Friday, my understanding is Chris met with MassDOT and was able to show them that a roundabout, apparently MassDOT had made a policy that before any signal gets done, you must fully study a roundabout, but that's a new rule that wasn't in place when we started ours. So they moved the finish line a little bit, but apparently they've since come to the conclusion that we don't need to do that. But we are a little bit short. We had the $200,000 scope, but with the changes MassDOT required, in order to get to 75% design, which is where you need to be to get a MassWorks grant, which is our next step, we're about $30,000